So let's switch over. This is there's so many great quotes from President Trump's speech, but I decided on this one, and but I think this kind of sums up everything that he's been talking about and what this election is about.
What united generations past was an unshakable confidence in America's destiny and an unbreakable faith in the American people. They knew that our country is blessed by God and has a special purpose in this world. It is that conviction that inspired the formation of our union, our westward expansion, the abolition of slavery, the passage of civil rights, the space program, and the overthrow of fascism, tyranny, and communism. This towering American spirit has prevailed over every challenge and lifted us to the summit of human endeavor. And yet, despite all of our greatness as a nation, everything we have achieved is now in danger. This is the most important election in the history of our country. At no time before have voters faced a clearer choice between two parties, two visions, two philosophies, or two agendas. This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny. It will decide whether we rapidly create millions of high-paying jobs or whether we crush our industries and send millions of these jobs overseas, as has foolishly been done for many decades. Your vote will decide whether we protect law-abiding Americans or whether we give free rein to violent anarchists and agitators and criminals who threaten our citizens. And this election will decide whether we will defend the American way of life or whether we will allow a radical movement to completely dismantle and destroy it. That won't happen.
That's pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. And he had listening to it, like this, not watching him, but just listening to it, he had a little bit of that John F. Kennedy intonation there.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, da 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 da.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that John F. Kennedy kind of performance. I like it. I think it was good. I think it was effective. A lot of people are criticizing him because they said it wasn't upbeat enough. No, I think it was right on target.
So after the Trump speech, Jake Tapper, that great analyst over at CNN.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's go back. Trump gave a speech on the first day of the convention. This is a little conversation that took place.
A rambling speech filled with misleading and false claims about voter fraud and Democrats and a suggestion, possibly joking, that he could serve for the next 12 years. CNN's Ryan Nobles is live outside the Republican National Convention location in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ryan, is this what the convention's going to be like, or will there be more of an effort to temper some of the president's more, shall we say, troubling impulses?
Well, Jake, this convention now only just a few hours old, and if we've learned anything from what we've seen already today, that this is Donald Trump's convention, and everything we see from here on out is going to be something that comes directly from him. He's going to drive the messaging. He's going to drive the story of this convention, and that was on full display this afternoon and this morning. The other thing we should point out is that while his campaign will attempt to spend each day with a frame for each event, they're going to talk about certain issues that they want to highlight. Ultimately, all of these speakers have one of two things in common. They're either related to President Trump, meaning that they're his wife or his children, or they are a group that have pledged their undying loyalty to Donald Trump as President of the United States. Just take a look at the speaker list tonight. Rick Scott from South Carolina, the senator from there is going to be one of the speakers. Nikki Haley, his former UN ambassador. Ronna McDaniel, who's the current Republican chairperson. You also have Congressman Steve Scalise. his son, Donald Trump Jr., who we talked about, and two of the president's most ardent supporters in the House of Representatives, Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan. These are all individuals who, above all, support Donald Trump. So as the president tries to make the case about building back the economy, building on the accomplishments that he's had over the past 4 years, one thing is clear about this convention, Jake, and that it is all about Donald Trump. And
Morgan, have you ever heard such a thing before, that a presidential candidate's convention is about him? I mean, what does Trump think he's doing?
Could they be more wrong? I think he brought up more people that were just real people that gave their stories. It wasn't all of his cabinet members and senators and Congress people. What is the matter with these people? No wonder their heads exploded the next few days when they saw who he brought up there.
That sounds like something that Jon Stewart would have done on the Daily Show, back when.
Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. It's a comedy, right?
Back when Stephen Colbert was actually funny. So, oh my goodness. All right, so here I got to play this one because this one is just incredible. This is Jake Tapper responding after Trump's acceptance speech on the last day of the convention.
The president tonight promised a vaccine before the end of the year. He suggested it might be even earlier than that. And then he talked about convalescent plasma almost as a panacea for this virus, when we know, based on what medical experts have said, it is not proven to be any kind of cure. So there's a lot there, Wolf, and I think that it bears pointing out, because this is the most important thing in the lives of Americans right now, and it's not, it would not be responsible for us to allow these kinds of, misrepresentations.
No, obviously it's a complete misrepresentation, especially when it comes to coronavirus, but I have to say, look, every political convention is propaganda, but I don't know that we've ever been fed a staple of propaganda like this. And what's so interesting about the last 4 days, Abby, is that they are asking the American people to not believe what they already think, according to polls. They're saying they had individual after individual say, I wish you could see what he's really like behind the scenes. I wish you could see it. As if
nobody said that.
The perceptions that the American people have, a majority disapproving of the president. So many Americans think he's racist. Oh, no, he's not. You need to believe he likes black people. So many Americans think he is a sexist or misogynist. He's not. He's done so many things for women. So many people think that he's xenophobic and he hates immigrants. Oh, no, he's not. Here he is in naturalization ceremony. And so many Americans, and this is why he is so vulnerable, even if the race does tighten a little, so many Americans disapprove of the job he has done with the coronavirus because they see the evidence before their eyes as to how the administration response has not been adequate. They see it. And the message has been, oh, no, he did a really good job. They are asking you to disbelieve what you already think. Wolf?
So, what do you think about that?
Oh, brother. What can you say? I mean, these people are really pathetic. Yeah, you know what? You ask somebody, well, you should see Donald Trump behind the scenes. They'll tell you, he's really a great guy. He does so many things for people that he never gets any publicity on. Yeah, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that. They just want to think the worst. But it's it's the Trump derangement syndrome. What can I say?
Exactly.
I mean, it's pathetic. These people are just, you know what? And Donald Trump just goes out there and he just puts up Trump 2020 in fireworks. I just love it.
That's probably what really ticked off old Jake Tapper. But that
girl, you know it did. He knows how to push their button.
But you hear the girl, and she said it would be irresponsible of us to let this go uncommented on. And Jake Tapper, asking people to believe what they are, to disbelieve what they already know. He's talking about himself and the people in the media who live in this bubble, who have told the lies about President Trump so often that they have now believed them themselves. Mm-hmm, and these people, if they got criticism at all, they squeal like stuck pigs. And yet they criticize Donald Trump every day. Yeah, these people, it's just... But the last thing I'll say about that, this must surely mean that Trump's speech and the entire convention was effective, because that's what they see that it's effective, and they see that it's going to damage their candidate, and that's the real reason why Jake Tapper is having a meltdown.
Well, yeah, and now it's got to be all about hating Trump, and it's got to be all about, every bad thing and horrible thing that he's done, and he's starting the fires and tearing down the statues. How can we let him tear down the statues? That's going to be next, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. They have nothing. They know, and they're panicking because they're talking about this. Right. If they were really so secure with Joe Biden and knowing that they're going to win and they're 14 points ahead in the polls, they would just dismiss it and go, yeah, it was cool.
That's right.
Right? I mean, they'd be going, yep, nope, we're confident. We're, no matter what he says, we're still going to win. No, because they are freaking out.
Oh, they know what the internal polls are showing. We don't.
Sure.
But you can tell by their reaction, that they know they're screwed. They got a candidate screwed. I've said before, and I'll say it again, I would not be surprised if Biden has some type of health scare or something else happens, that he all of a sudden has to drop out of the race before the election gets here. Although the later it gets, the harder it's going to be for them to do that. But
unless they throw Hillary in there.
Oh God.
No, I'm saying if Joe suddenly just can't do it. I mean, already they're saying today I guess he didn't do anything today, and the press was told to put a lid on it. He's going home.
Joe Biden makes Hillary Clinton look like a go-getter from her campaign in 2016, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah. But, people are seeing it. People are seeing it, and they're going to have to see it more because they're going to have to put him out there. If they go hide him again, that's going to be even worse.
Yeah. And speaking of people could see it, you mentioned it back at the beginning. Michael Moore can even see it because he's come out and said that Trump's on the road to a major victory again because the enthusiasm is all on his side. And
that's right.
He tried to warn the people in 2016, and they didn't listen. I'll give Michael Moore a little bit of credit, and at least sometimes he'll, like a blind squirrel find an acorn once in a while. Michael Moore does come across the truth and speak it, and he is in this case. So
yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing, I mean, Michael Moore, at least he's passionate about what he believes in. I get it. He's a Looney Tunes, but he is, and he sounds the alarm and tells the truth, because I think last time he said this guy's gonna win.
Yeah. Yep, he surely did.
Yeah, and I mean, he did, and people came down on him, but you can't say that, don't say that, Hillary Clinton's going to win. And he says she's not even going to the states she needs to go to.
Right.
At least he's honest about it, so,
And Biden's pretty much the same way. They're not going to go to Michigan, so...
No, in fact, I guarantee you he's not going to go back out again. What he said in that speech yesterday has been 100 years, 100 days... I mean, come on. They can't risk it. They can't risk it. Yeah. He'll say something crazy or go off on somebody, and that's it. Then it's over.
Yeah, it'll be up to Kamala Harris to go out to these different states and do the legwork.
Yeah, nobody likes her. So.
Yeah, she's not very likable. So.
No,
well, yeah,
she's not.
Well, to wrap it up, I am feeling a lot more. I'm feeling confident, even more so than ever after the convention, and I don't think it's just because... you get a boost from the convention anyway, but like you said, it's watching what the Democrats are doing, and it's also exciting to watch these young Republicans coming up. So I think we got a bright future in our party.
I completely agree, and I'll tell you something. If you got to have somebody, guiding your ship through rough waters, who would you rather have, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Yeah, that's a scary thought in one word.
That's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think I'd rather have Donald Trump at the helm any day.
Oh, come on, man. God love you. I'll be right here. I'll be, it's just like when FDR went online and talked to the people on Zoom. I mean, now Biden didn't really say that, but that's something he would say.
Exactly.
So,
see, that's coming. You know that's coming.
So,
I mean, turn on your record player. Play.
That's right. So,
gee, they've got to be just cringing.
Yep. Well, either they must think, and they were going to try to use the voter fraud, which we've talked about before, and even that's not working out for them. So they're frailing about like a fish out of water right now.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
So, well,
I'm just waiting. I'm just curious to see what they're going to come up with next. By the next time we talk, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and hope everybody has enjoyed this. Thanks for listening. This has been the PTZ, the Political Twilight Zone, with John Baldwin and
Morgan Brittany.
And we'll see you next time.